Hello, hello. On today's show, I'm going to talk about visions from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Mike says round 3 results are going to anger the people. And on the horizon, Pat proposes the question, what's better than one Hot Toys Batman? Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. I am your 4th or 5th favorite podcasting host. It's the truth, Kevin. And of course, I have 3 amazing people with me today. 3, count them, 1, 2, 3. First up is Patrick.
Hello, it's the truth.
Hello, yeah. And then, of course, Michael.
Good morning, everyone.
And last but not least, our amazing background producer, Karen. She got a little clappy clap, something? No?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Could you tell I was focused on that to make sure it happened that time?
Yeah.
You know, my stutter in the tease was because when I, proofread it and made a small change right before the show, I left a gap in the sentence and it moved down to the next line. So I had to, my brain works so slow. I'm reading, I'm like, oh, I gotta, like the old typewriters where you have to be ching
Right.
and then slide it. That's how my brain worked. I read that sentence. All right. So anyways, I only have one thing to say before we get into the cool stuff. And that is that it is official. I have heard from Legends, our winner of the first Scruffles Gold giveaway, that he did receive all of his items. And he said he's going to do an unboxing video. I don't know what his schedule like. Looking at his posts, it seems like it's really sporadic, so he doesn't really have any kind of schedule. But he says he's going to make an unboxing video. So keep a lookout for that. And if you haven't already, followed legends_C_and_G. Check them out. So there's
that's
that.
great.
Yeah. All right. Did either one of you want to say something before we get going here?
No, I'm ready to roll.
All right. Cool. Here we go. Nice. Every time I hear myself scream that cover combat at the end, that's obviously horrible audio. And I wanna make it better, but I don't have the skills to do that. So. But at this point, it's the accepted intro anyway, right?
Yeah. It has to stay.
All right, Mike, we're gonna be angry. That's the tease. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, obviously not all of us. What'd you say?
I think so we've got 6 matchups. I think we can find somebody getting angry about at least one person per matchup.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just hoping it isn't me majority of the time, but I can't help but feel that maybe what's gonna happen.
Look at my notes here. Let's see, Kevin. Yes, Kevin. Yes, Kevin. Yes. Yeah, it looks like you're gonna be angry quite a bit, Kevin. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Are you? Good. Thanks.
Yeah. No, there's one here you'll be happy about.
I'm going to hold you to that. Okay. Okay. This was really tough week for me for multiple reasons, which I can't really exactly say right now, but I will in the wrap-up show. That's for sure.
Right. All right, so you guys ready to get to it?
Yep.
All right. We're going to start here with Venom #1 from Clayton Crane versus War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha from Clayton Crane. Here we go. Clayton Crane's going to kick out Clayton Crane. So I think after this, during this, we've got 3 Clayton Crane covers remaining in this matchup. Or in round 3.
Spoiler alert.
Well, we have 3. These 2 plus the Spider-Geddon.
Oh, that are left already as of now. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
In round 3. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Just for
Well, this one is upsetting to me because I had to choose between which cover I actually liked better versus which character I liked better. So, that was a tough choice for me. What'd you do, Pat?
Kind of stuck to my guns about on the one cover I've been voting all along here. So
Okay. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, I just wanted to vote against Clayton Crane, so just flip the coin.
And I want to say too, because I'm glad I caught myself here, because I just made a statement that I've made a few other times in Cover Combat. And when I'm listening to the podcast throughout the week, I say to myself every time I'm saying, I'm like, that's dumb to say without kind of an explanation. And what that is which am I going to vote? The cover I like the best or the character I like the best? And that might be stupid. It's like people are like, this is Cover Combat. What are you, dumb? Right? But I should articulate that better by saying, which art do I appreciate better on a cover, or do I like a cover because it has my favorite character better on it? So I am picking because of the cover. It's just which 2 of those deciding, right? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think the character does come into play.
Yeah.
It might give, if it's a real, you're even on it, the character could give it that half a point more that you're looking for. So, all right. So you guys ready to see the results here with the winner?
Yes.
Getting 54%. So people were pretty split on which one of these. It was very close.
That's good.
54% went to, it's all timing here. Venom #1.
Karen has no reaction on that whatsoever. All right, we didn't talk about this in her rehearsal again, the way this is going to go. Mike's going to show, I'm going to react. Karen, you're going to react, and then he's going to wait until after yours to then say what it is.
Yeah.
Karen's giving a thumbs up. Got it. We're good. Man, this is fine. Yeah, but, R.I.P. Boba Fett. He's gone.
Yeah.
Oh well, what can you do? We all love this cover, I think, though. I don't know if love's a strong word, but we all like this cover a lot anyway. Yeah.
I like this one a lot. It has Halloween, it has Universal Monsters.
Right, Pat, you like this too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want this cover, that's for sure. Does anybody have this book already, this cover in particular?
No,
not yet.
Gotcha.
This is a store exclusive.
I
think that's what Clayton Crane did a lot, store exclusives for a bit.
Gotcha.
All right, here we go. Oh, there's everyone's favorite matchup.
Oh, was that what Karen was just saying? Is that's the one she claimed for the champ? Is that what you were saying, Karen?
Let me look at my notes here.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why she was really happy about it. That's why her reaction was slow. She was so relieved that she didn't think to react.
Yeah.
We're on today, Mike.
Yeah. All right.
Not to exclude you there, Pat, but me and Mike, kind of fancy ourselves the comedians that want the reaction all the time, right?
Right. Yeah, I got you.
Right. So here we have the Incredible Hulk Flash 38, I'm sorry, versus Electra 23.
Hold on. I just realized you put the edited one up there.
Yeah.
For all of the, well, maybe even the viewers, they may not notice that the ugly Flash face has been replaced with an uglier Incredible Hulk face.
Yeah. This is
in the whole.
Thanks to the. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say for the podcast listeners, I've been talking about how I thought the Flash face was ugly for so long, but then talking about how I also love the Incredible Hulk McFarlane cover, and obviously that's an uglier face. So now Pat has put those two together and put the Incredible Hulk McFarlane face that I talk about how I love on the Flash face. And it's a train wreck of beauty. Is what it is.
It is. It's awesome. Don't be surprised if there's a poster of this hanging in Xcellar at some point.
Yeah.
But
oh man, okay.
So anyway, yeah, what I was trying to you actually did what I was trying to do. Thanks to the talents of Patrick, we have this awesome remark of Flash 38. But this is kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. Well, we
better, worse. Better, worse.
Yeah, you're at the eye doctor.
We need to get an acetate. We need to make an acetate cover for that.
There you go.
All right. So here's the real matchup.
Okay, good. I sure hope this conversation is ended today.
All right.
Not that I don't love the conversation, of course.
Yep. So the real Flash 38 versus Electra 23. So Francisco Mattina versus Bill Sienkiewicz, and the winner here received 61% of the vote.
Oh,
not sure what to think.
Yeah, me neither.
It could go either way. You guys ready for it?
I guess. Yes! All right.
We have Electra 23 with the victory.
Nice. Sorry.
I think maybe if the Hulk Flash was actually in the running, it may have won.
Well, I'm probably happier that this one won because Sienkiewicz is still alive, as I am as much as we get rid of the ugly Flash, so. And this is a great cover. It's not just,
Yeah.
It hasn't made it to round 4 for nothing. That's for sure.
That is for sure. Yeah, it's taken down some. I voted for that Flash. I really like the Flash. So this one's taking down some heavy hitters.
Well, I'm not angry yet.
Heavy hitters.
Oh man,
We've got a Spider-Geddon #1 from Clayton Crane versus the Incredible Hulk 340 from Todd McFarlane.
Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah, what did you do here?
Say again.
What did you do here?
I went classic, of course.
Okay, good. Thank God. So did I. Mike?
Well, I went classic.
Okay, good. Okay.
I'd like to say that this was close. I can't.
What was it? What was the percentage?
77%. 77%.
That's
So
that definitely scares me. Unless our audience just all of a sudden came to their senses in general. That's concerning.
Yeah. Like no more kids. No more kids are allowed to vote.
Hey, didn't we talk about in future cover combats our votes counting for 2 maybe in the future?
I don't remember that, but
Oh man. Okay.
all right. Here we go.
Oh!
Wow. Incredible Hulk 340 holds off Spider-Man #1.
That is awesome.
So yeah, that was a slaughter.
Wow, that was a nice that was a nice fake out, Mike.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks.
exactly, Mike. That was a great fake out. Yeah, you totally. I actually literally had to take a double take there because I was so convinced it was going to be Spider-Geddon that I started to look away, knowing or assuming that it was just going to be Spider-Geddon. I didn't want to see. And as soon as I saw it was still Wolverine up there, what? That's awesome. Oh, man.
Yep.
The audience did come to its senses. Man, I wish Johnny were here too to appreciate this moment. He probably is appreciating all these moments just like we are, but just not with us. But that's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, that's that. All the other covers need to be a little bit scared right now.
Okay.
All right. All right, here we go. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man 293 from Mike Zeck versus Spider-Man 2099 #5 from Francisco Mattina.
All right, Pat, I have to know, did your love for this Zeck cover have the power to keep your vote?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Over broken glass, yes.
And then I know it did for you too, right, Mike?
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah.
We actually saw a cover at Flashback the other day. What cover was that? Where it actually had broken glass, but the other characters were in the glass, just like we had talked about.
Yeah, it was just like you had said, Pat. Where it was broken glass, but yeah, it was all the.
It was a DC
book. It was whatever it was. Yeah, it was awesome.
It definitely wasn't that Power Girl Art Germ book, which, geez, nobody can find that thing.
Yeah. Hey, can you get on and order that low? Oh, never mind. I shouldn't even say anything yet. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I regret not pre-ordering that Power Girl when it was on last week, so I need to learn that lesson today.
Yeah. Today.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk about it shortly.
Okay.
But first, what we need to do is find out the winner here. 54% of the vote went to the winner. So this one was super close again. Very close.
Yeah.
Are you nervous yet?
I am a little, yeah.
You don't have faith in the classics? Like, 340 held up?
I sure hope so.
All right. Let's pull off the Band-Aid real fast.
Oh.
All right. It's like the listeners don't even need me to tell them which one won, but I will. It's a Spider-Man 2099 #5, Edges Out, Mike Zeck, an Amazing Spider-Man. That removes Mike Zeck from the competition.
Dagger.
Yep.
The audience obviously approves, though.
They do.
Anyway.
Yeah. That's why I call into question the voting.
Now that the Flash is gone, this one's gonna get all the ribbon from here on out.
Is it?
From me, at least.
Oh, okay.
Well, unless we'll see what else carries on. Because I like Venom, I like Elektra, obviously Incredible Hulk. This is the only one that's stuck around that I still have issues with, and it's just because of Patrick. Pat pointed out why I hate this cover. I'm running with it.
All right. Well, next up we have Spawn 284 from Francisco Martina versus Marvel Age 90 from Todd McFarlane.
Yeah, man, it's so crazy. You know, like you were saying, and I'm assuming you're mostly joking last week that, you know, you you forget what covers are coming up, and you just made these graphs and everything. I definitely forgot from last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a tough one too. Yeah. Oh man, I don't even know what to think on this one. I know what Pat did. Mike, what'd you do?
This is the first. I think this is the first time I voted against the Marvel Age.
Wow.
And it just might be that emerald green on that Spawn cover. Just
yeah, that's the way I went too. But it's tough. Definitely tough.
Yeah.
From the sound of the host, this one's just going to be a landslide, I guess.
Yeah, if I can't count on you two for the classic vote here, I'm a little worried.
61% of the vote went to the winner, which was
all right.
Spawn 284. So
4 out of 4 hosts approve. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think with these, it's like what's that?
Kevin say 4 out of 4 hosts approve?
Yeah.
No,
Patrick doesn't.
This is a Matina cover.
Yeah, but Patrick likes the he's talked about that Marvel Age.
Yeah, if you weren't following Kevin, when I mentioned Matina covers, that's a bad thing. Not a fan.
Yeah, I know.
Well, 6 on point today.
I know you're not a Matina fan,
Okay.
but I don't even want to say it. I can't say it. Unless I can't even say what I want to say, then I'll have to wait a few weeks. But, so we can just move on. But I totally assumed you voted for this cover. So obviously I'm wrong. Okay.
I think the thing with these two covers, they're both really, really good. There was nothing that made me love either of them a lot. You know, like you get the Hulk 340. For me, I love it. And
yeah, I was definitely torn on this too, with obviously McFarlane being my boy. But Spawn's my boy too. So yeah, this was pretty equal. This was pretty equal for me.
Yep.
But.
All right. Well, let's finish off strong, right? Because
I'm completely confused right now. I'm totally completely confused by something. Dadgummit.
So we've got Amazing Spider-Man 316 from Todd McFarlane versus Deathstroke 32 from Francisco Martina, and this is like the Jello Deathstroke, right?
Yeah, the glass Spider-Man is rooting for the gelatin Matina to go through so that I can hate on this one some more. But if this Amazing 316 does not beat this, but what did it beat? I can't even remember what it beat last week. It keeps amazing me. I know this is all you, Mike. I know you love this. You had to pick Amazing on this one though, right, Mike?
Yeah. Hold on. I'll tell you what it beat. Wait, you want to know what the Amazing Spider-Man beat last week? X-Men Annual #1.
No, I want to know what the gelatin beat last week.
Oh, Deathstroke 32 beat Wonder Woman 759, the Jim Lee book.
Yeah, exactly. Took that out. I'm gonna be bitter all over again if it takes this Amazing Spider-Man out.
All right. Well, let me throw these numbers at you. The winner, 54% of the vote. That's close.
Yeah, that is close. That's too close for comfort.
Hey, that's what I was thinking. All right. Here we go. Let's make everybody's day, right?
My head's still spinning right now from a fake. I feel like I'm being faked out. So. Oh.
Sorry. All right.
Kidding me.
Everybody's happy to hear Deathstroke 32 victorious over the Amazing Spider-Man 316. See how happy they are?
The audience hates this about as much as I do.
Yeah. Well, there's 54% of the audience loves it.
And apparently Pat too. He's bitter right now as well.
Yeah, I even had my son on board with me for both of those McFarlane covers, but no such luck.
Yep.
Oh well.
There you go.
All right, Mike, you've been talking this cover up too much. That's what you've been a good salesman to get this thing votes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, as good as you were against Flash cover.
Yeah.
Oh. What's that?
That was Valor just realizing that we actually lost those two covers.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good boy there.
Two McFarlane Matina matchups, and they didn't go in our favor.
Yep. All right, let me see if I can switch over. Let me see if I can switch over. Close that. Let's get to my next one here. Not sure what's happening on the screen there.
Nothing
yet.
I'm doing a bunch of stuff here.
There's literally nothing for me to even put up there anymore. It's completely off the screen.
Yeah, I guess it probably once I switch what page I'm sharing, it
well, it's gone now.
All right, let me get back on there and reshare. So now we have next week's matchups for round 4, which, as Patrick pointed out, will be the semifinals.
Oh, wait, that was, oh, geez. I thought we were having technical difficulties right now, that there was another winner you were getting ready to reveal and you were having difficulties. But that was all of them. That was all
that
from
was it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right.
Oh,
I am having technical difficulties. This is slow. We're going to present, share screen.
So these are the semifinals you're getting ready to show then.
Correct. Right? Yes.
We've got.
All right.
It's
a lot of clicking.
One artist heavily favored in these semifinal rounds. He has as many entries as the rest of the group.
Oh.
All right.
Right.
There's the first matchup. Spawn 284 versus Incredible Hulk 340. What don't you like?
I was just gonna say I don't like Spawn that much. Come on, Incredible Hulk 340 has to make it to the finals. Has to.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think anything's possible at this point.
Anything is possible. Anything is possible.
And our next matchup, we only have 3 matchups. This is short here. Next up, Electra 23 versus everyone's favorite book to hate, Spider-Man 2099, number 5.
I'm feeling good about this Electra cover now. I was worried about it for a while, but yeah, this is strong now, man. The finals are looking like it's going to be a classic 3-way right now. Wait, hold on. It's going to be a bunch of classics.
Not really.
Yeah,
the last matchup isn't.
Oh, okay. What's the last? See, I already forgot. What is the last one?
Forgot already. Venom number 1 versus Deathstroke 32.
Okay. Yeah. Man, if Gelatin makes it to the finals,
that's funny.
I like this matchup though too. This is good. I'm happy The only one I'm honestly worried about is 340. I think Elektra's going to take it. I think Venom's going to take it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the Matinas are going bye-bye in the semis. And then me and Pat will both be really happy, apparently.
That would that is a possibility. And then that'll leave them McFarland, Sienkiewicz, and Crane.
That'd be great. That's awesome.
I think it's crazy that Clayton Crane, that last throw-in name, actually made it this far.
Well, it's so interesting because because like you said, he does the exclusive variants a lot, so it's all these really cool covers. And that's that's the thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Call me disappointed for the semifinals. There's only one cover I really like in the semifinals, honestly.
Is it 340?
Yep.
You don't like that Sienkiewicz a lot?
Nope.
Hey, gum. I figured you'd have been a fan of that.
Yep. So that's it, folks.
And while we're talking about Clayton Crane, and we want to talk about that flag cover, I looked that up a little bit, and that's Tyler Kirkham who does the Ryu Street Fighter cover.
Okay.
And he also has a Guile Street Fighter cover. So he's cranking out the homages to Clayton Crane here for some strange reason. I don't get it, but
he loves Clayton Crane, I guess, right? I mean, that's all it takes, right?
Yeah, and the Guile is it's a flag, just like the Venom cover, whereas the Ryu is the towel.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do you like them though? They look cool though, right?
I
mean, they're basic, but
Yeah.
It's not impressed.
No, yeah, not impressed. Let's put it this way: I wouldn't go out of my way to plunk down $25 or whatever for an exclusive cover like that.
Oh, I wouldn't either for that either, because it is such a simple cover, But I think it definitely looks cool. I'd buy it for cover price, off a shelf. And I'm a Street Fighter fan too, anyway. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Mike. Good job.
Thank you. It was fun. We're getting down to it.
Goes too fast. So all of the voting for the semifinals the percentages should be 52% across the board because they're all so awesome, right? It's the way it should be, right, Mike?
No.
Karen disagrees.
I think honestly, man, I don't know. They might all be close. I don't want to talk up the Hulk 340 too much because it is epic. I think that's the one that has the best chance of being a blowout. I think in its favor. So.
Well, I hope you're right, of course. Seriously, here's my logic though on this. So obviously it's, well, I should say, in my opinion, great covers versus Matinas. And the crowd overall seems to be leaning into Matinas. So that's why it's going to be close. That's my thoughts,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That spinner wheel couldn't even do us the favor of pitting two Matina covers against each other for crying out loud.
Oh, that didn't happen one time?
Well, I mean, I don't think it did, but
no,
maybe it did. But in this case, in the final,
the last round,
yeah.
The last round now.
Do us the favor of pitting two. That's how we got rid of one of the Craytons.
Right, yeah.
Claytons, yeah. All right, still really cool though. And again, really good work. And it's bittersweet when it gets down to the end here because it gets shorter and shorter. Then we got to wait a whole nother however long we were going to wait this time for the next cover combat to where we can get a lot, again. So anyway, but good job, Mike.
Thank you.
The crowd doesn't agree. They didn't think you did a good job though, Mike. It's funny. Every time my mind, I just totally expect something to happen. It just doesn't. Anyway, are we ready to hear about my visions?
Sure.
Yep.
Karen's like, sorry, Mike, in the middle of my intro. All right. So I kept, we've had some really long shows as of late. So I'm going to try to keep it to 3 every week now. That's my current new plan. And I call it a new plan loosely because I feel like I may have said that before. I'm not sure exactly. But if I did and I failed, I apologize. But I accomplished it this week though. And the first thing I watched was actually I saw some shorts, reels, whatever you want to call them, videos of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And I thought they looked really awesome. So I'm like, you know what? I actually, I don't know if I'm not like a super fan of of Del Toro. Am I saying that right? Guillermo del Toro, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a super fan of his or anything, but when he comes to mind, I always think I like his stuff. I like Pacific Rim a lot. What was that one with the demon that was World War II? What was that one? Man, never mind. Anyway.
Hellboy. Didn't he do Hellboy?
Mm-hmm.
Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy, but there was
Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah, Pan's Labyrinth. That was him, right?
Shape of Water.
Yeah, he was Pan's Labyrinth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's the one I was talking about because there's like a demon in that and it's World War II stuff, right?
Yeah, I thought Hellboy was too.
Oh, wait, yeah, Hellboy is too. Actually, I didn't even put together the World War II part.
That's why I was like, man, how's he forgetting this? I don't get it.
No, yeah, I was totally thinking Pan's Labyrinth. But anyway, so that's why I wanted to check this out. I'm not a huge Pinocchio fan by any stretch, and it's been so long since I actually saw the original Pinocchio. Aside from the basics, obviously, wooden boy, real boy, lying and nose growing. I didn't remember a whole lot else about Pinocchio to be able to compare his version to the classic. Did either one of you see this Pinocchio?
No, this is an irritating sticking point in our household because for some reason Valor does not want to watch this. So it's kind of a thing where Chelsea and I have to watch it, and we just never have gotten around to watching it yet.
Oh, okay. Why? So you said for some reason because he's not giving you a reason at all why he doesn't want to watch it?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, maybe my review will change his mind. Hopefully I can help you out. Mike, have you seen this?
No, and I'm just not a fan of the Pinocchio story. Never really was.
Okay, I'm not either, Mike. Okay, but this isn't that. Okay, so
all right, you don't need to yell at me.
This is on Netflix, by the way, and everybody knows the classic story of Pinocchio. Just to kind of recap that for anybody who doesn't know.
Better put up that spoiler alert.
Yeah. There's a man named Geppetto that is raising a small boy. And this is this movie again. I don't remember the specifics of the classic to see if there's any different, but this is what happens in this movie. He's raising a small boy during World War II. And is World War II a thing for Guillermo? That just dawned on me too. Anyway, and his wife is dead already, so he's raising the boy by himself. And then an accident happens, and his boy is killed. Of course, he is extremely distraught by this. And he's a He's a wood carver. I wouldn't exactly call him a carpenter. He's a woodworker. He makes sculptures and toys and stuff out of wood. And so he decides he's going to make Pinocchio out of wood. Or his son. Do you remember his son off the top of your head, Pat?
No.
Whatever his son's name was, but he's given the name Pinocchio by the sprite, I guess, that puts life into the wooden boy and names him Pinocchio. So he is essentially has the spirit of Geppetto's, the woodworker, the father. So he apparently has the spirit of Geppetto's boy in him, and it's not very complex. It's pretty basic the way you think about it right there. He's just, comes back to life. He's trying to make Geppetto happy by being a boy, being the kind of boy that he was when he was a real boy. Maybe the twist on this one is, and here's what I can't help but think this is a twist on this. So every time Pinocchio dies, that you can see on the poster there, there's another animal spirit. It's kind of like a griffin, and he goes to talk to that spirit. And every time he dies, he basically can't die. He dies, he goes to wherever this world is, where this spirit is. She turns over an hourglass that she adds more sand to every time he dies for him to go back to being alive again. So the soul of Geppetto's son will keep going back to Pinocchio's body even after he dies. It just takes a little bit longer for that to happen every time. His real son is unnamed in his story. Karen's chiming in the comment that his real son is unnamed. He did have a name in this movie, though. I can't remember what it was, though. But anyway, so that's kind of the twist, I guess. And, they go through all these adventures where, the Italian government wants to use Pinocchio, since he's immortal, essentially, as a soldier. There is a circus act, a carnival act, whatever you want to call it. The manager of that wants Pinocchio because obviously he's a living puppet, so he's a great circus act. So he's fighting for Pinocchio. And then, of course, the father starts to love Pinocchio like his son again. So he just wants to be with Pinocchio. So there's this big fight over Pinocchio rights, I guess you'd call it, in this. And I won't give out how the end goes, but everything I just said comes to a head near the end, and comes to, in my opinion, a fantastic conclusion. This movie, I really wasn't into this movie a whole lot. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Endings will make or break a movie for me, and I was kind of lukewarm through most of this movie. It was like, the visuals are great. I think it looks awesome. Yeah. And the acting, the dialogue is good. But I just wasn't really into the story. Like I said, I was kind of lukewarm on it. But then the ending happened, and I ended it just with claps and nothing but great things to say about it. I watched this with my wife, and she adored it as well. And we're about on the same page as to how much we liked it. And I think it's for the same reason too. I think the end really sold it. If it wasn't for the end, this might be like a 5 or 6 to me. But with this ending, 7.5, this was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad I watched it. Jessie said she also was very glad she watched it. So, I think if you just get past, again, for you, Mike, and then Pat, hopefully for Valor, that if you just get past classic Pinocchio think for this movie and just give it a shot, I think you'd like it. I think Valor would too. So, but like I said,
kind of reckless if he dies so often.
Well, he's killed, I should say. He's not being reckless. He's people want to kill him for miscellaneous reasons, you know.
Well, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Put it on the list. I'm sure it's probably not going to be something you get around to anyway with all the other things. So,
yeah.
Speaking of that list, I'm actually bumping Silo out of the top spot for this week. But I did watch Silo episode 6 on Apple TV. Are you caught up, Mike?
No, I did not have a chance to watch this week's episode.
All right. Well, you didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I'm not surprised to hear that. It's not like they were going to make a hard, left turn between episodes and actually start to go somewhere, I guess.
Right.
So
although I have some ironic things to say though. So I think the first 2 episodes, as I've said before, were great. 3 was good, but only because it had a lot of action, but I was starting to get frustrated there because it didn't have anything to do with the story. Then I complained about 4 and 5 being super slow and annoying in certain ways and didn't move the story forward, stuff like that. But they did have major events that happened. So this one does kind of pull the wool over, no pun intended, pull the wool over your eyes a little bit. This is my 3rd favorite episode. And like I said, ironically enough, it's not because it was good. It was just the dialogue and the acting, I guess, I don't know, kind of made me feel better about this episode. Like I just didn't hate it, but literally the story does not move forward anymore. And another irony here is literally nothing that happens in this one. Like my complaints for 3 and 4, where they were slow and the story wasn't moving forward, but there at least were events. People died, things like that. Nothing major happens in this episode whatsoever, and it's slow, and it's frustrating. But this would be my 3rd favorite episode just because the writing was better. That's what I should have looked at. I should have looked at I'll bet you a dime to a dollar there was some kind of directing change between 4 and 5 and 6, because
I think shows like this do that a lot. They'll have different writers on different episodes, different directors on different episodes. So yeah, look into that. That's be interesting.
Yeah, but this one, like I said, was better. So I'm only watching it to try to get through this season at this point. I'm not really enjoying myself overall. Kind of just looking at it like a job right now. I'm continuing. So I don't recommend anyone jumping on this right now. But I'm going to continue watching it every week and tell you if it changes. So, yeah, that's Silo on Apple TV. I can't remember what I put on I think I put like a 5 or something on the website for the season overall. I'm still kind of there. So.
Yeah, it's disappointing because there are a lot of people that aren't going to get around to reading the books, and this is their only way to get the story, and it's just not doing it any justice because, I'm sure Jesse's talked your ear off about how amazing the books are, as I do.
Yes,
and it's so disappointing. Such a great missed opportunity to get the story out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
All right, then in my searching for what I was going to watch aside from Silo, because I want something that's fairly fresh for every episode, of course, I found this fresh beat. Star Wars Visions Season 2. This dropped on May 5th. I didn't even realize it. Did you know that, Pat?
Yeah, I tried to watch 1 episode and I fell asleep, but I need to get back to that.
Never heard of season 1.
Would you say, Mike?
Oh, wait. I was going to say I never heard of season 1, but I remember season 1 now. I watched the first episode. Very stylized. Like it was they did a comic book on it too, I think.
Yeah, it's very stylized shorts.
Yeah. That's right.
And this season has 9 shorts in it. And yeah, I think the first thing to say is, man, these are all beautiful. These are all, and from what I remember in season 1, they're gorgeous. And man, I love, I reviewed Batman the World. And I can't remember. I did something else like this too, where it likes to give a lot of kind of outside the box input, especially from other natures or other nations and cultures on, something that's obviously a huge, brand of America or whatever you want to call it, like Star Wars is obviously, and I love those kind of things. So I liked Vision season 1 a lot. So I was excited as soon as I saw this. First of all, I was mad that I didn't know it existed yet. Pat, FYI on that. Anyway, if I haven't reviewed a new Star Wars thing that's come out, make sure you shoot me a text. Hey, do you know this is out? Especially if I skip a week, I obviously didn't know it out. But anyway, that's all the positives I have to say about this one so far. Let's get into some negatives.
Oh no.
Oh, it sounded like there weren't going to be any negatives.
Unfortunately, there is, man. There are 9 episodes here, right? And 2 of those episodes have a boy, girl, man, woman pair up, team up as far as the story needs to be told. Every other episode is nothing but girls. What was that other Star Wars thing they put out, the Forces of Destiny, where I felt like the Forces of Destiny was straight up, you knew you were getting nothing but stories about, Rey and Ahsoka and Princess Leia and Queen Amidala, and they were just following all female content. So I was kind of expecting that on that. But it took me for a loop on this one. And the two that had kind of a boy and a girl team up, the girl was still the focus. So I don't know why there wasn't, and I double checked season 1. It was at least half that were kind of male focused. Obviously can enjoy some female everything's movie shows, these shorts, all these things. But that was the biggest thing that was frustrating with me about this. I didn't know why. I guess it's Disney, right? That's what I have one friend every time I mention this kind of thing. He's like, it's Disney. What'd you expect? When Star Wars got Disney, all they had was princesses before. All we're getting is a bunch of, girl stuff now. And I'm like, well, I hope that that isn't what Star Wars and the MCU and stuff are reduced to now that Disney owns it. But it seems like they're sure leaning that way. So, and actually, I'm going to backpedal a little bit when I said the only other good thing I had. That's the only good things I have, because these are like, I still enjoyed most of these. But it's one of those things like, I enjoyed the Mandalorian episodes during the Book of Boba Fett, but I was so distracted by the fact that I was watching the Mandalorian on the Book of Boba Fett that I couldn't enjoy them as much, to the full capacity kind of thing. That's what this season of Visions did to me. I definitely watched the first one, just enjoyed it. It's totally stylized. It's about an ex-Sith woman that she's a painter, and she's like painting, and she like paints in. She's on this planet where paint is kind of alive or something, and the Sith come back to try to get her to come back to join them, and she has to fight them, and she wins, of course. Spoiler: she wins, and
Nope, you muted, Kevin.
You're muted.
can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I think you bumped a button.
Yeah, I did. I hit bumped the cord. Sorry. So I won't go through what every single episode is about, but they all were pretty good. There wasn't that I thought was just dumb and sucked. But like I said, I had a hard time enjoying all these because of that focus that I was distracted by. So
I think what it is, and at some point, it became a popular opinion that the female characters were underrepresented in movies and TV and books and everything like that. So people made a conscious effort to correct that, and it's almost like over the last 20 years, it's been almost an overcorrection to where now when someone's writing a story, instead of just a natural thing, they make a point. Oh, I'm going to make this one focus on the female characters, and the more people that have that, then it floods the market with that. I mean, that's just the way I see it. I think it's like an overcorrection on what people perceive to be a problem in the past, but we grew up with Storm leading the X-Men and a lot of female characters there, and female creators and everything, but nobody was focused on that. It was just this is just a natural creation and stuff. And now things are kind of,
Yeah, I think that was all well said, Mike. I completely agree. The only thing I will not really disagree with you about, but say a little bit differently than you said it is, I don't really think it was a perceived problem before. I think it was and problem, how much of a literal, like, quote unquote problem was it? I don't know. But some people think it was a problem that there were less female heroes and, tough girls, whatever you want to call it, in the past. So if they saw it that way, fine. I don't care. If you want to see that, it definitely did exist. There was less, and apparently there's someone out there that wants more. But I think the biggest part of what I 100% agree with what you said, Mike, is they overshot the mark,
Right.
And yeah, and I've said this before about all the other Disney things. It seems like something is either equally focused, which obviously is good, or just female focused. So it's which you need to, if you want to have this diversity, keep all things, equal, then keep it that way. Don't exclude males from the story for the sake of representing females, I guess.
Right.
So, yeah. Are you guys seeing my video being so glitchy like that?
Yeah.
But I sound fine. I don't sound glitchy.
Yeah. You're catching up now. You're moving real fast.
That was distracting me. I kept looking at it. I'm like, hey, I did that like 5 minutes ago. Why is that still doing that? But anyway, overall, because I am a fair critic, regardless of how I feel about everything I just said, overall Visions season 2, as far as quality of story and the visuals I loved, I give this a solid 7.5. 7.5 probably. It's still good. I need to watch it again and once I know what I'm in store for, I feel like I might enjoy it better the second time, without being distracted by kind of being sideswiped by whatever. So, but that's all I got this week. I'm trying to, like I said, I'll try to stick with the 3 to kind of move the show along a little bit quicker. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate it.
Just to throw it out there so you guys know where I'm at for talking purposes. It was a big movie week this week for our household. We saw Guardians 3, Super Mario Brothers, and Across the Spider-Verse this week.
Oh, you saw Across the Spider-Verse too?
Ooh.
Daggum.
That's an impressive run at the theater. What, you guys, like a 10?
We did 2 on Memorial Day, then we saw Spider-Verse yesterday.
So, just real quick, how many bags of popcorn for each one?
Do you want me to just do the bags and not tell you who they're for, or do you want me to tell
No, yeah. I want to know who they're for. Yeah.
I give Guardians probably an 8, maybe an 8.5. It was really good.
Awesome.
Super Mario Brothers was a little disappointing. I will say I'm not a big fan of Illumination. So I think that kind of hurt. I thought it was a little bit boring, but the animation was really good. And Across the Spider-Verse, I'd probably say it was an 8.5. It was really, really good.
Awesome.
Yeah, I need to talk about that one because there's a lot of stuff to talk about there.
Yeah, that's the one I feel like I need to see Guardians first if I do make it to the theater, because that'll be the one that's kind of exiting stage left first. But I actually would like to see Spider-Man first more, but I feel like if I don't get to see Guardians soon, I'm not going to be able to in the theater,
Yeah.
Oh, but I will say what I'm going to review. I know something I am going to review next week. Avatar is going to drop on Disney Plus this week, so I get to see Avatar: Way of the Water, which I'm a fan of Avatar. So that's I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
You've never seen Avatar, right, Mike?
Yeah, I own it. I bought it on Blu-ray the day it came out. I haven't watched it.
That's crazy.
It's on my to watch list.
Okay.
Obviously, I intended to watch it because I bought it, but
is that ahead or behind of Pinocchio at this point?
well, it's behind because
and I'm the only one that hasn't seen Mario Brothers. You saw that in the theater already too, right, Mike?
yeah, we all loved it. I think Patrick's rating was pretty spot on for what I feel too. Yeah.
Oh, really? I thought you liked it more than he did.
No, what'd you say? An 8?
Nah, I'd say it was probably 6. I was a little let down. It's because of, like I said, I'm not a fan of the Illumination movies. I just don't find their writing or humor very spot on for me. I know kids love them, but
yeah, I'm more at a 8.5 on it then. And my kids would probably give it a 10. They're begging us to buy it digitally, and I'm like, whoa, it's $20+ right now. Just
is that one even in theaters anymore? That one's definitely going to have to be on digital for me.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater.
Oh yeah. You saw Memorial Day. That's right. Yeah. I thought I saw it dropping on. I guess they do a crossover with that month. Yeah.
Oh, it's on Disney now.
Digital, not Disney.
Oh, digital. Yeah.
You can only buy it though. I don't think you can rent it yet. They're like messing with all kinds of stuff,
Yeah.
But that when they
I don't like renting things.
What?
I don't like renting things. It's like, man, if I'm going to spend $4 to rent it, I'll spend an extra 10 or 15. I'll just own the dang thing. Because if I rent it and I love it and I want to own it, I don't have to spend full price. I'll just buy it.
I completely agree with you, Mike. But what they did is they made it tougher than you just said. What you just said, to repeat you, is you said, yeah, if I'm going to spend $4 on something, I'll spend another 15 and get it, right? But what they do is they put it out for rent at $5 and put it for sale at $29.99 or whatever. It's like, it is this stretch for me now where I'm like, oh man, I'm dropping 30 on a movie you may hate. That's
why I don't do that. I mean, if my patience on Avatar doesn't show anything, I can wait for a movie.
Right.
The beach.
Is the old grumpy old man champion of physical media? Any digital is renting because they could take that digital away at any time. So
that is a good point. That's true. A good point, Pat.
True. And I've kicked myself for converting to digital, and every time you're like, oh, I bought this, I'm like, man, I really should have the physical copy, because you're right, they could edit it as they've done. Even like Stranger Things, they changed stuff. They went back. I think that's to make the show flow better and to fix a couple missteps. But they can change whatever they want whenever they want.
Yeah, but I don't think they've done that. I know what you're talking about, Mike. And they've done that. They've changed it before you bought it. But like if you own something digitally already, and then they make a change, it doesn't change the copy you're going to see.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Well, I can't remember what I confirmed that on. There was something they did that to recently that I owned it on digital already, So I checked what I owned, and it was still the same. It wasn't changed at all. Because I think once you buy it, you digitally download it. So then they can't change what you've downloaded. Or maybe they can. I shouldn't say they can't. But they just change future downloads from that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've done it in music. I have the soundtrack for Juno.
Yeah.
And there's a song on there between Ellen Page and what's his name. And in the new version, it's on my phone, it's on my computer. When it plays, it says Elliot now. So they changed the title of it digitally through something that I've already owned, that I bought when it was released digitally when the movie came out. So I mean, that's music. Now, movies, I don't know.
Well, I guess it's also a case-by-case basis too, right? They probably, if they have the power to do one, they have the power to do both. So maybe they only do it on the one subsequent to that, but they won't go back to, I don't know.
Who knows?
The point is they have the power. That is Pat's point.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Super convenient, but that's the risks you take, I guess. But then, there's pros and cons to everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm starting to rethink my life right now.
Yeah.
Well, what was great is when you bought what used to be great, Pat, and we've talked about this a bunch of times. When you bought the physical copy, it gave you a digital code.
Yeah.
That's when it was great, because then you could get both for one price.
They still do that to some degree, but I've heard and I fear that's going to be a thing of the past soon, because they don't want that,
Oh, I thought it already was a thing of the past.
Yeah,
they still do it for some.
Yeah, they still do it. Yeah.
Karen, that's exactly what Karen just asked. So should I keep all my physical copies? That's what we're pondering, Karen. That's the debate on the table.
Yep.
And I think actually I guess that maybe that actually isn't the debate on the table, because I think we can all agree the answer to Karen's question is yes, you should.
Right.
The question is, for the future, do you buy more physical copies or do you buy digitally? Because I'm that same way too. Basically, to condense my physical collection, I got rid of all the cases and I just have all my discs in a book. Mike taught me that one, or Mike got me on board of that. So I still have a far majority of all my discs from everything in the past.
What I did was, I put all my discs in binders, but I kept all the cases in boxes. And then when we moved, I took all the inserts out and I threw the plastic cases away. Now, if it had a cardboard case or a special thing that I couldn't easily replace by going buying a 100 count plastic case thing, I kept that. But yeah, now I have smaller boxes of all the inserts in case I ever want to put them all back together. Or if I had a colored case, like a white plastic case or a blue one, I kept that. If it was just a traditional standard black case, I got rid of it.
Yeah. What's the status of your collection, Pat? You're all just like, I still have everything and it's all just like it was when I bought it.
Yeah, but that's a problem.
Yeah.
Space becomes an issue as you get older and older and you keep buying these things, right?
Yep.
All right, moving out of my quick what Kevin watched segment.
Yeah, we just ate up all the time you saved. But that's good.
That's okay though. Yeah, if we ain't here to talk about these things, what are we here for? Are you ready? Are you ready for the pick 3 though, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
All right. Here we go.
Now we get into that other discussion.
All right. There are the 10 covers for the week. These all hit the shelf June already, June 7th. We'll start with Spider-Man number 9 from Mark Bagley. I've never been a huge Mark Bagley fan, but I really like this cover a lot. I think he's done a good job here. Then we have Star Wars 35, Steven Segovia, Loki number 1, Art Germ, Joker Uncovered, Lee Bermejo, Yoda number 8, Takashi Okazaki. I pointed this one out to Kevin as soon as I saw it. I sent him a screen capture. I said, I love this cover.
Yeah, it's great.
Just fantastic. Next up, X-Men 23, Mark Brooks, the corner box variant.
You're right.
What?
It just makes me think about when we first saw that cover. I don't know, you probably showed it to us first, and Pat was like, yeah, can they just return the corners to that look? Again, you know? Right, Pat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of missing.
I don't know why. Go ahead, Patrick.
So they're kind of missing the whole point.
Right.
Yeah. Do you guys know anybody that doesn't love the corner boxes?
No.
What
We're
the heck,
all
Marvel?
pro.
Hello. Mark likes them.
That's good. I mean,
Mark
it's
loves them.
the whole thing is so convenient. It looks cool. It puts all the information in one place every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems like a no-brainer, but apparently it's not.
And it was super cool with the Avengers and the X-Men because obviously the teams involved in the books changed so much, you know, so we got info from the corner box to the info of the story and from the corner box too, you know.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. All of us.
All right. And then Astrobots number 2, Hector Trunick, Death Dealer 13, Milivoj Saran. Don't hate me for messing the name up. Flash 800, Michael Cho, and Immortal X-Men number 12 from Phil Noto. So there's your 10. All right, what are your complaints?
Okay,
And,
so
what do you like?
So first of all, I got a beef with Darth Vader art. Okay, I don't like whenever someone does like a straight silhouette or a straight headshot of Vader, because although I realize it's probably anatomically correct, anytime it's like straight on, his head just looks way too big to me, you know? So like I said, whether it's a straight on in front or straight on profile, I don't like that. You know, I feel like I want him to be looking up to where it, you know, distorts, makes his head look smaller. But like I said, I can appreciate that that's probably anatomically correct. It's just when it's always straight on, I never like it. I'm like, yeah, I never like it. That's my Vader critique. What do you guys say about that? Anything? I'm stupid? What?
I wouldn't say you're stupid. I've just never noticed it. I've never had a problem with it.
All right, now you're going to notice Vader's big head every time it's a straight shot. Anyway. Now that I'm mentioning it, can you see what I'm talking about in that cover, though, when you're looking at it?
No.
No? Okay. Well,
So the problem with that cover is it's not straight on. Is that what you're saying or not what you're saying?
no, I'm saying, I know I'm by saying straight on, I mean like a direct, like where he isn't turned one way or the other. So it could be straight on in front or straight on profile. That's a straight on profile.
That profile there is horrible, I feel.
Okay, good. Okay, so we agree for different reasons, but we agree that profile is horrible. Gotcha.
Yeah,
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
See, I didn't even focus on that part. I was so focused on Luke in the foreground there with the lightsabers cross. I just thought that was great. I hardly even paid attention to the background.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't notice it either until Kevin said it, but now I don't like it even more.
Every time it happens with me now, that's been a thing with me for a while. I always feel that way. You give me a big-headed Darth Vader, I'm not going to like. But that Luke is cool, Mike. I agree. That Yoda's pretty cool too.
You're just looking at the cover the wrong way. Don't look at the background.
I think the positioning of Spider-Man head is not in a good spot for Spider-Man. That's my critique on that one. It's a family show, so I won't go any deeper on that one. And then that Colossus looks too much like Chris Evans for me. Looks like a Captain America that's been frozen in time. I don't know. It's like but everything else I love. I actually love how Sunfire, who is one of my, I can't remember how Pat put it one time about Wonder Man, but I love the way he said it's like Sunfire is one of my my favorite B tier characters or whatever. I love Sunfire, so I love that being there. But
yep,
I'm gonna order that Loki before the end of the day, and probably that Yoda as well. So
yeah.
And I love everything. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I love everything about that Joker cover except that it's Joker.
That Joker cover, while technically very good, is so disturbing that I couldn't vote for it.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a disturbing Joker cover.
I just don't like Joker at all. I just don't like the Joker. I think that I'm going on record saying that now.
All right.
I'm sorry, Mike. I know you love Joker. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think you're probably like the only person.
Maybe I might be. Yep.
All right. Are you ready for the number 3?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I play the Profits right now?
Yeah. Go for it.
I'm going Loki, Yoda, and Spider-Man. Okay. Pat, you want to play?
I would say Joker, Loki, and maybe Spider-Man also as well.
All right, Mike, what you got?
All right. Well, we're going to start with the one that you guys didn't pick. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
Third place, it is Astrobots.
I mean, that's awesome. That's a cool cover. It just surprises me that would make the cut. Wow. That's cool.
I was surprised as well. It, both issue 1 and 2 made the top 3. And I was surprised, but then after analyzing the numbers, I see why. And we'll discuss it after we're done with all 3.
Okay.
All right. All right. Next up, in second place, here we are with Yoda. That one, I wasn't surprised with that one. I figured that would be up there. I love it so much.
Yeah, I think it's cool art, and then Yoda being I think a group favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I shouldn't say favorite, but a beloved group, character. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody likes Yoda. Actually loves Yoda. And finally,
I took away the word love. Pat, what's your face saying? You like Yoda, right?
Yeah, I've never been a huge Yoda fan, honestly.
But you like him.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, trust me, you like him. It's popular opinion.
I like him more and more as time goes on. Like, I'm torn for my 2 favorite Jedi right now. Can everybody guess what my 2 favorite Jedi are?
Yoda.
Uh-huh.
I don't
Yoda
even
might
know.
be unseating this other fellow, or that's a hint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know.
Obi-Wan. Yeah. Obi-Wan is epic.
So Yoda might be your favorite over Obi-Wan shortly.
Yeah,
maybe
might be unseating him. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready for number one?
Yeah.
I'd like to get at least one.
Patrick got one. It's Loki.
Nice.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised by this. And this is why I think Astrobots did so well.
Okay.
Every single person voted for art term except for one person. So this one walked away with it. So that this book ate up all the votes, and then everybody else had to split 2 votes between all the other books. Immortal X-Men got 0. So the rest of the votes were all split. So there were quite a few with the same number of votes outside.
Pat, were you the one that didn't vote for this?
No, I voted for this one.
Okay.
Valor didn't vote.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Wait, Valor didn't?
No.
Oh, then that's right. He didn't. There are 2.
Oh.
Marcus and Valor.
Mark didn't vote for this? Dad, come.
No.
Give him a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, Patrick pointed out, Valor did. Marcus and Valor both voted for Astrobots.
Nice.
So there you go. It's like, hey, what do you like? Robots. Yep.
Hey, Mike, can you do me a favor? I've mentioned this a million times on the show, so people will probably like, Kevin, what's your problem? But hey, Mike, can you get in Gateway and can you put like 3 of these in your box and then just put them in my box when you go to the store?
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'm not even joking. I'm going to keep one. Well, actually, I probably need 4. I need 1 for like Ayla, 1 for myself, and then 2 for whatnot.
Well, hopefully there are 4 available, but it's just on the internet. You can do it on your phone. But you can just do it on your phone.
I don't know how to work those crazy things.
I think I shared with you screen captures. Okay, click here, click here, type in here.
You guys ever have? I have a couple things like this with my wife. That's like, I just don't ever want to do it. Because I enjoy that being done for me for some reason.
Right. Yeah, it's like, I'll be your.
I just want to have one, just one, Mike, just one thing. And I'd be like, hey, Mike, can you do that?
I've already submitted mine for the week. That'll be a second one, but I'll do it.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Oh man,
did you order? Let me guess, you didn't order your Astrobots number 2?
I didn't order Astrobots number 2.
I already ordered mine. All right. What do you want? The A cover?
Was that the A cover?
No, that's the B cover. You want the B cover?
Yeah.
You know what we should do? We should start the segment where we preview what's coming out. I don't know. Seem like a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, hey, that's a perfect segue. That's happening next week. We're going to replace, or I'm going to try to make a really quick, like literally, like all I'm going to do is say what I watched and give a rating for what Kevin watched. And next week's going to be our first preview segment. That's actually going to be exciting. I'm going to be with Karen in Pennsylvania when it happens too. So that should be a lot of fun. Right, Mike?
It'll be a blast. Sorry, Cora brought me some pancakes.
What'd you say, Mike?
Cora brought me some pancakes.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll eat them during the. You're not going to be talking here for a minute because I'm going, then Pat's going after this intro. Are we ready for these reviews, Pat?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
All right, cool. I'm first again. I think I've been first the last 2 or 3 weeks. Getting pretty good at this. All right. I continued on my journey with, I said last week, I'm excited about Vanish, number 3 by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, and Vanish number 4. And I am currently showing the Spawn variant on the screen for the podcast listeners, but make no mistake, similar to Voyages, Spawn is not in this comic book. This was Spawn Week or whatever for or Spawn Month for Image titles. So I got all of the Spawn covers. This is really cool though, and they kind of match too.
Yeah, that'd be a cool team up.
Yeah. Which, with the way this is going, I'm not sure that isn't a possibility, man. This is so. First of all, I can't remember whether I mentioned it because I just enjoyed the story so much in general when I reviewed 1 and 2. But this is super adult content. This is, I shouldn't say super. That kind of leads to, the top of
Right.
the adult content chain. It's not that bad, or it's not. It doesn't go there. It's just extremely gory, and man, they drop an F every 2 panels. So this is not for kids. You'll have to have your parents save it for you and get it when you're older, and they should, because it's great. I'm still loving this. To recap real quick from where this story comes from, is the character on the cover's name is Oliver. He's a wizard from a wizarding school, very Harry Potter-like kind of storyline, except Oliver actually kills the leader of the bad guys at the beginning of the first issue, and that the leader of the bad guys' name was Baron Vanish. Where you get the title of the book Vanish from. And we quickly move forward in issues 1 and 2 to start to follow Oliver as an adult who's living a troubled life. He's an alcoholic and a drug addict, and he's kind of depressed and hating life because he had a lot of fame and he was really popular when he first killed Vanish, but that popularity has gone by the wayside. He just has to deal with the realities of life now, and he's not doing a very good job being a normal person. At the end of issue 2, he was mugged, or actually at the end of issue 1, he was mugged, and then at the beginning of issue 2, we discover he was mugged actually by one of Vanish's minions. So then Oliver takes it upon himself to continue a revenge crusade to bring all of Vanish's minions to justice, because he's still hung up on everything they did back in the day whenever he killed Vanish with destroying their wizarding school, and Vanish's parents were killed. Oliver's parents were killed, and all this bad stuff. So he's still holding a grudge with all that. So he decides he needs to bring all of Vanish's minions to justice, and that's where we arrive in issue 3. We start to see him fighting all of his individual minions. Let me see. In issue 3 and issue 4, he fights a total of 4 of Vanish's. Actually, the followers of Vanish are called the Hollow. I said that last episode too, but just a reminder there. So he fights 4 of the Hollow in issues 3 and 4. And the other interesting part about this, a reminder with the Vanish books, is that Oliver's coming across, it's complicated whether you think he's the bad guy or the good guy, because as he's pummeling and fighting the Hollow, they're trying to tell him, hey, chill out, man. I'm not like that anymore. I'm a good guy. I'm a superhero. Stop beating me up. And Oliver's like, no, you aren't. I know who you are. I know what you did, while he's pummeling him. So, and this story, this book does a good job making you feel these torn emotions too. You see where Oliver's coming from as he's pummeling all of these baddies. But you also start to feel for the bad guys as well, where they're pleading with Oliver to just stop. They're not like that anymore. They just want to do good, and they're trying to be superheroes and save the world now. So leave me alone. And he ain't having it though. He just keeps coming at him, right? That does sort of start to change a little bit in issue 4 because essentially Oliver will not stop chasing them and, trying to kill them. So they have no other recourse now but to come up with a plan as to how to stop him. You guys remember Highlander from back in the day, right?
The show?
The show? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where they can be only one. Every time he kills one, then he absorbs all the powers from the other immortal, right? And then he becomes more powerful every time. You know how that works. This book kind of does that too. Every time he kills one of Vanish's minions, he absorbs their power, so he keeps getting more powerful as well. So that keeps happening as well. And like I said, though, it starts to turn in issue 4 where they are starting to have to, they realize he's not going to stop. Excuse me. He's not going to stop. We need to come up with a plan to stop him. So now they start doing some questionable things that makes it even more of a complicated story, which I'm loving. I think I've got issue 5 already. I might have actually gotten 6 yesterday. I don't know if 6 is out yet, but I'm 99% sure I have 5 already.
Yeah, it's out.
Yeah. But man, I want to read it like now, like as soon as the show's over today, because this is so compelling. The art is still great. And like I said, the writing's done so well. It's making me, torn as to who I'm rooting for. It's like Oliver, chill out. It's like Oliver, he is bad. Get him, all in one fail swoop of each fight. It's like, or her. That happens too in this. So that's where we are at the end of issue 4. Like I said, the Hollow starts to do bad guy type things to where Oliver's getting ready to be justified to be the jerk that he's been all this time. So we'll see where that goes. But still a big get it, borderline must have. Again, it's if you're in for mature rated books like this, and especially if you like the wizarding world and you're looking for something fresh, get Vanish. It's really, really good.
Nice. It's good to hear.
Yeah, after your review last week, I only have issue 1, so I read it and I did enjoy it. The art is very good. The writing's good. The only problem, Kevin, on the horizon there, to co-op my segment term, is that who knows what's going on with Donny Cates, and I don't know if this is taking a hiatus recently, like his other books. I'm not sure about that, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't wreck anything.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's up to issue 7 being released. Yeah,
Okay,
they may have had a bunch, in the can,
Right.
And they're just publishing, and he's on a writing hiatus. So yeah, that gap may be coming up. Who knows?
And I think he's also trying to get back on the saddle and get back to, comics again. But I'm not on top of all that either. So
yeah, I haven't seen a bunch. I think people are nobody's really talking about whatever's going on.
Yeah,
I've just heard a few rumors, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't know how valid they are.
Yeah,
I think what you're seeing, Kevin, here, and I think in his Thor run and Venom, I think people really liked his Venom run, but with those Marvel books, he has certain rules he has to follow. But when you get him on his own, it's just like the leash has been removed and he can just go off on these. So that's I'm really glad to hear that this is a good read.
Yeah. All right, Pat, what do you got?
All right, so my DCBS order came through for me, so I was able to, keep on that amazing Spider-Man train, and I read
Nice.
25 and the infamous 26, where one shall fall.
Uh-huh.
And I think pretty much everybody knows who that was.
Do they?
I don't know.
Yeah. Real quick, I think when you go back and read about when Gwen Stacy died, spoiler alert. But that book, from what I've read, that book just really gut punched a lot of people because nobody saw it coming. They just opened it, they got it, they read it. It's like, holy cow, we're never gonna have that now, unless Robert Kirkman has a way of kind of pulling surprise on everybody. But it goes to great lengths to do so with The Walking Dead, and then we're never going to have that because of spoilers and because of advanced this, and they're trying to sell the books and all that. So
the only defense I have for that is I think it is possible though, because man, the MCU's pulled it off quite a few times during with Cap and Thor's hammer. Like no one, obviously it depends on how deep and extensive the event is, but I think if they tried, they could pull it off.
Well, I'm talking just comic books, not going into the movies.
Well, I'm just saying, since it is possible in movies, I think it's possible in comic books too.
Should be. Movies would seemingly be a much harder thing to keep under wraps.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of it comes to marketing and comics, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
They want to get sales. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But but like a title like Amazing, you'd assume that 99% of their sales are set in stone. And I don't mean like they'll stay that way from week to week. It's just whoever's going to get it next week, or the people that are going to get it next week, I don't think that. Well, no, you're right. You're right. If they reveal the event, that's going to make a bunch of specs buy more, right? Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right, let's let Patrick talk here.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
So where we're at here, as we had talked about, the mystery had finally been revealed. Why everyone was against Peter Spider-Man, and now we're getting to see in issue 25. This is Mary Jane's story. This is her side of the events and where how things happened for her in this alternate dimension. And these two issues are, by the way, by Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. However, on this issue, Kari Andrews was the Mary Jane side of the story artist, and he did a really good job. In that now it kind of makes sense why he was. I was wondering why is he on these variant or second printing covers. Now it kind of all makes sense. He's been doing a little Spider-Man work, and it does a nice contrast to John Romita's pages in this book right here. So the first half, like I said, the first half of the book is Mary Jane's story, and her and Paul are on this, alternate plane, alternate dimension, trying to survive, they're constantly on the run from the emissary who was trying to bring this Yep Mayan god back to life. They're constantly on the run, moving from place to place because you got something? Oh, you're just
I was just analyzing that cover. It's like, have you ever seen Spidey shoot webs like that? It's like this, right? It's not like this to where the web's coming out from underneath. It's always like this.
It doesn't matter. He can.
I know.
He can have his hand. He can have his hand in any position. It's going to work. All he has to do is press his button on his palm.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I've never seen it down.
Yeah. Also, I'm never going to question or argue with John Romita, senior or junior, when it comes to drawing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think I've seen this plenty of times.
Where it's down? Yeah.
Yeah, any position,
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's why I had my silent on, so I wouldn't interrupt you. But I did. I could see how you'd be distracted by it.
I thought you wanted to chime in, and I thought you were trying to get our
Yeah,
attention.
raising your hand.
Sorry.
But then I noticed with the shape of your hand, and I was like, well, maybe he's just trying to figure something out.
That's exactly what was that.
Just remind me of Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man. When he's trying to, he's like,
Go Web.
Go Web, go.
Once again,
Right.
go ahead, Pat.
Muting myself.
All right. So like they're on the run because the emissary branded Spider-Man and Mary Jane with these Mayan symbols. They're part of all this prophecy. So he's able to easily track Mary Jane in this dimension. So Mary Jane and Paul are constantly on the run. They can't stay in one place because he can track them down. Along the way, we get and there's quite a few swerves and twists by Zeb Wells, which I thought worked pretty well, and are well done. I assumed at the reveal from last issue that the two children were Paul and Mary Jane's children because they were on this plane of existence for so long. Well, it turns out they found these two kids. So they are not their children. But you know, the children were apparently left on their own. They sort of adopt them as their own. They're taking care of them. They're raising them. They've bonded with them. And we find out, you know, they keep us abreast of the timeline. You know, they say 3 months later, 2 weeks later, 6 months later, we find out that Mary Jane has been trapped in this dimension for close to 4 years. That's how long that she's been away. So now we actually get an actual timeline where it was only mere hours for Spider-Man. It was close to 4 years for Mary Jane. Let's see, where was I here? So it comes to the point where we last left off, where the timelines sort of intersect, where the emissary catches up with Paul and Mary Jane. They got Mary Jane and Paul on the ropes, and then we get a flashback to where Peter actually is successful and gets to this other plane. It saves the day, sort of. So all the timeline sort of jives up, and we come back to present time, and we sort all the heroes, Cap, the Fantastic Four, they're filled in on the story also. And Captain America basically says, you know, Peter's been through a lot. We just kind of have to let him work through things now. So trying to make amends of the bad things that Peter has done, stolen the technology from the Fantastic Four, been aggressive towards his allies. That's Cap is sort of saying, we got to let him work through this. I understand. Mary Jane has talked to me. We got to let him work through all these problems. He's been through a lot. So that's kind of where issue 25 leaves off. And I will say, for the first time too, here, you get to the second part of the story, the present day part of the story. John Romita Jr. is leaning into, I think purposely, making Mary Jane look older. I mean, apparently there was 4 hard years, because he's drawing her, bags under the eyes, a little bit wrinkly, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes from here. But so 26, we're in present day. The emissary is trying to get at Mary Jane, because if he kills Mary Jane, that supposedly will bring Wyatt back, the Mayan god. That, all this prophecy mumbo jumbo. So they're trying to protect Mary Jane, this whole story. In the meantime, the emissary is making his final push, and he's releasing all these, these Mayan type monsters. So again, we get the Fantastic Four back into the fold. They say, no matter what has transpired, Peter has always been a good friend to us. So they're trying to battle these demons. And also we bring in the Gold Goblin, and we bring in Ms. Marvel, who had, if I hadn't previously mentioned, I think I did. She actually has a job at Oscorp, and her purpose of getting the job at Oscorp was to keep an eye on Norman, to make sure things were on the up and up. So she's involved in the story. So they're all drawn into this story of battling these monsters while they're trying to protect Mary Jane. Meanwhile, a couple other swerves we find out. Paul is actually the son of the emissary from the other plane. So there was a little bit, that's why Peter is very wary. Not only that he separated him from Mary Jane, he's also wondering if he's on the up and up and, not as evil as the emissary. That it doesn't appear to be the case, though. He seems like an actually decent guy who actually defeated his father on the other plane at one point, who was the emissary there. He's trying to sort of do the same thing on our Earth now, is to try to end the emissary for once and for all. The other swerve we get is that the children were just creations. They were just created by the emissary to try to lure Mary Jane and Paul out. So he basically disappears the kids. So the kids are out of the picture now, which is kind of weird. So it all comes down to a head. They've sort of, Mr. Fantastic has sort of figured a way to defeat the creatures using the Mayan symbolism, which is how they kind of generate all their powers from the other dimension. But they still gotta, if the emissary kills Mary Jane, the prophecy will be completed. So they got to keep Mary Jane safe. And Ms. Marvel here, you want to get into the ultimate spoiler for issue 26. I'm sorry, I kind of didn't flip over to 26. Ms. Marvel uses her powers to make herself look like Mary Jane. So you probably can see where this is headed. The emissary, thinking he's completing his prophecy kills who he thinks to be Mary Jane. Wyep, he's like, there, I've done it for you, Wyep. The prophecy is complete. Now you can come back to Earth, and I've done it. And the Wyep's like, sorry to tell you this, but that's not what happened. And you've been tricked. And he killed the Wyep, sort of absorbs the emissary, and seems to be, we've seen the final page on that whole storyline, the emissary and Wyep. Well, I'm sure Wyep might try to come back at some point, but the emissary's plans have been foiled by Ms. Marvel and her trickery, and we're left with the final big spoiler at the end. And it's it's strange. They thought they had enough forethought to integrate Ms. Marvel into the Amazing Spider-Man book here. And I should have done a little bit of research to see. I don't even know if Ms. Marvel has a current book. Maybe anybody know that?
I don't think so.
I don't think she does.
Okay, so that kind of makes more
I don't
sense.
pay attention.
Yeah, I know. I'm sort of in the same boat there. Not a huge Ms. Marvel fan, but I have the Champions was okay. I think she's a decent character, but I wondered why this was happening in the Amazing Spider-Man book, and that kind of makes sense. What doesn't make sense in the overall scheme of things is why Marvel times this when their character that is meeting an ultimate end is to be featured in a movie in the near future. They did this with Doctor Strange. It's just like I don't get it. But
I'm telling you, they're all sitting in the back seat and no one's driving.
Yeah. They don't even connect them together at all, I guess. That's the thing.
But we all know, we're kind of skirting around the issue here, but we all know the character will be returning at some point.
Of course. Yeah.
But the previous two issues were so exciting and action packed. I gave those two a must have. I gave 23 and 24 a must have.
Right.
These are still very good. So I'm giving them, I get it. It's just sort of a step down from the previous two issues because they were so good. But it's still, you know, I like what they're doing here. I mean, and I've kind of, you know, I sort of said I came around on the character decisions with Mary Jane separating her from Peter. But now they're kind of, you know, going back, and they're sort of pulling back a little bit on that by getting rid of the kids, you know, that they had, that we thought they might have had together, her and Paul. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's sort of like, if you're going to do it, just do it. Now they're sort of backpedaling a little bit, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's definitely a recommended book. Definitely get it. Now, you know, kind of this storyline is wrapped up, so we'll see where things go from here. I think the next issue, John Romita's off. You know, they've sort of been rotating a little bit. I think Ed McGuinness is on the next two issues, and then maybe Patrick Gleason is back, or I could have that reversed. So we'll see how things go from here. It'll be interesting to see how they deal with the fallout and where any big stories, you know, come out of this. But for now, still get it. Strong book, in my opinion.
Awesome.
Yeah, I looked through this issue, so you know I knew what was going to happen. I wanted to see how it happened, and I thought Romita Jr.'s work was great. I really liked how those panels, how it all unfolded. I thought he did a good job on it.
I love the cover I got. I we're talking about how much they're trying to hide spoilers and stuff, and then they make that spoiler cover. That's pretty cool.
You know, real quickly, I'll say that I thought, I didn't know, I knew about the death at the end of this issue, but I didn't know it was happening in this book. I thought it was happening somewhere else. So sort of, you know, things sort of tied together, and it was like, I thought the spoiler would be something more Spider-Man related in this book. So I wasn't expecting it to be the death of the character. So
they have a upcoming one shot. I think it's going to be a one shot. It's like One Shall Fall.
Yeah,
I saw that solicited. I was like, what is this all about? So I put it in my thing, and then later on I found out. I was like, oh, let me just take that back out, because it was, I think it's probably almost a $10 book probably, or something like that. It's like, I can't afford that.
I was the same way. I was like, you know, it was one of those books they were soliciting without any information. Is like, you'll want to get this, and I was like, yeah, I probably should get it. Well, now that I know or knew what it was, I was like, nah, I'm not going to get that.
Now, how long has this Paul character been around?
A long time. It goes back into the previous.
Okay.
Well, the emissary character, the bad guy, goes back to a previous Zeb Wells stint on Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah,
because it was funny as you were talking about all the characters. This kind of hit me. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody's brought that up. That's interesting. Yep.
The folk singers.
I haven't seen that connected by anybody else, so good on you, Mike.
Yeah, that is good, Mike. You know, that's funny you do that. I'm gonna do this real quick, because something else struck me when Pat had the Mary Jane cover up. Do you guys, does that strike you as anything?
I actually like that cover, but
this is what struck me. No? Ballad of Jane by LA Guns? No? Okay.
No.
Never mind.
Sorry.
Well, it said the cover, What Happened to Mary Jane? Yeah, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
I should have just kept that to myself, apparently.
Yeah, I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
thanks for letting me know. All right. Mine's gonna be short. Because I know Patrick's reading this, so I don't want to tell too much. Little Monsters 13.
Are you up on
my
this too, Pat?
I will be next weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're bringing up. He's stuck at what, issue 9 or something, because
Right.
it's sitting in Xcellar right now. You're taking it up to him, Kevin. Are you
Oh,
frozen?
gotcha. Okay, I didn't get that reference either. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in a holding pattern.
I should have just mailed it all. It's like,
I could have bought it myself, and that would have been the same
Yeah.
result.
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is getting delivered next week.
Yep.
It's going to be me and you meeting up, Pat, and then you're going to have to meet up with other people as well.
Okay.
So
Anyway,
we've got Little Monsters number 13. This is the final issue. It came out May 17th. Man, I love this cover. I just love everything Dustin Moon does. I think he's fantastic. But this cover is just so great. It's Romy on the cover there. And let's see. So my notes aren't that great. Anyway, this is the final issue, but lucky for us, it's not the end of the story. So there's Lemire, just they definitely left room for more to come. And this one basically, I'll just hit on some highlights here. We have Fennec, the human, has Ray captive. He's tracking the group of kids. And Billy is still trying to find Laura, the human girl, because he wants to feed on her. And this book is just full of chaos. It's like a great back and forth. There's just total chaos going on and mayhem. And then you've got Romy, who's kind of separated from it a little bit, and he's reflecting back, and there's some flashbacks on stuff from before the elders had left. So there's all this chaos and then calm with Romy. And Romy's mute, doesn't talk, always writes with a pad, so it's kind of interesting there. It was a great ending. I'm really happy with it. It didn't end with the same impact that I felt Descender had, which is funny. Then I started thinking, okay, how did Descender end exactly? I just remember it really affecting me, but I can't even remember how it ended, so I'm gonna have to go back and reread it. But this is it's still great ending, great series. It's definitely a get it. Either search out the individuals or get the trade paperbacks. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And it left some hope that we'll revisit the characters again. Jeff Lemire did announce that because he's got some upcoming stuff, Black Hammer stories and things like that. But he said him and Dustin are already at work on their next series, and that's all he said. He won't give any more details. So I don't think it's going to be in the Sender or Sender world or this one. It's going to be all new. So we'll see. But this is definitely a get it. Oh, okay. And then here's my favorite panel out of the whole issue. I just love it. That's Billy. He's so ferocious. But that's it.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and there have been gaps in when I was not as large as Patrick's reading gap, but I opened one up. I was like, has this book always been in black and white? So I had to go back and look, and yeah, it's all black and white with very minimal colors. I didn't even remember that. So that's it. Get it.
Okay, awesome.
It's probably best read all in one or two sittings, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I need to get all of Ascender read first before I try to move into some kind of horror book.
Yeah.
Would you call it a horror book?
It's a vampire book. I mean, it's not overly horror, but it's vampires.
It's not overly horror-y.
Right.
Okay.
That's the word.
All right, great job. So we got a get it, must have still with Vanish, a definite get it with Spider-Man, and a definite get it with Little Monster. Good week. Good week.
Yep.
One of these days, I'm going to purposely read a book that I know.
What was that, Mike?
Is a not. I'm going to purposely read a book that I know is not a good one.
Well, didn't you just have one last week with the?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, that monster
A
book.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Or that, no, it was that Jaws book
Shark
or whatever.
book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dang. That wasn't on purpose, though. It's like, dang it.
All right, Pat. What's better than one? What
Hot
is it
Toys
called?
Batman.
Yeah, Hot Toys Batman.
You're about to find out.
Awesome.
Well, you're about to find out, but not so quick. We're going to do a few other things before we get to that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
First of all, did you know it's Yojo June?
No.
It is.
Okay. Awesome.
So apparently the whole month of June, we're going to be getting some G.I. Joe announcements from Hasbro. Maybe some other companies too. But they showed off a few things, and this is the Arctic Bat. You know, there's lots of versions of bats, I assume. And this one is the Arctic Bat, and this will be available $25. This is what they call the fan channel exclusive, which is basically everything except retail, like Walmart, Target. It'll be available Amazon, all the online toy specialty stores, things like that. The next two are Target exclusives, and we have a Python Patrol Crimson Guard. And we have
I like that box way better than I like that figure.
You like the box better? Yeah, it is nice box art, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I don't know anything about G.I. Joe. That could be an awesome figure. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because I've seen some really bad. Well, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I've seen some really bad box art for G.I. Joe lately. We'll see how this one. Here's a close up. We'll see how this one looks. This is Dusty. It's not horrible, but I wouldn't say it's terrific either. This is Tiger Force Dusty. Again, Target exclusive.
Not bad, yeah.
Pretty soon this might be a moot point because, like we talked, they're going to move back to the window packaging with the plastic. So these will be phased out soon, I would believe.
Wait, we talked about it, but I don't think you ever told us it's a sure thing. They definitely are doing that, basically.
Yeah, it's a sure thing. Yep.
Okay. All right.
And the last G.I. Joe thing I have, well, sort of the last thing is if you remember this is for modern audiences, they're calling this the Tele Viper with a flight pod, but this back in the day used to be known as the Trouble Bubble. Remember that?
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that bike though. That's cool though. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 different heads. This is a Pulse exclusive, Hasbro Pulse exclusive. It's going to run you $55.
Jeez.
We talked, I made a post on the Xcellar group when Mike put up the last round of Cover Combat. That Francisco Mattina cover sort of resembled the Spawn figure they announced. And this is the McFarlane Shadow of Spawn figure. And it is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. That's an online toy store for those of you that don't know. It'll be $35. There's the box art. And there is everything it comes with, the figure, the base, collector's card, some green chains for you kids. But I'm sure it's a previously released version of Spawn done in this green color scheme.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
Probably won't be grabbing that one. Yeah.
All right. I know it doesn't really, it doesn't exactly come across as cool as that Matina cover.
Right.
But I thought it was sort of a neat coincidence that we had that and this was announced. So,
and let me restate this so it doesn't seem like I'm beating this up. So I can see how this is cool. I'm just never a fan of the alternate versions of, especially characters I love. You know, I want the base. It's kind of like with that Boba Fett, you know, Christmas one. You know,
right.
they had. I just need my baseline stuff. You know, but this definitely looks cool. I can see how people would want this. Yeah.
It's costly enough buying the actual in canon versions of the characters you like, let alone all the alternate versions.
Right, exactly. That's another point. Exactly.
All right. So I pulled this because of Mike. Are you guys familiar with the Lego Ideas?
No, the Lego Ideas.
Lego Ideas. It's a
Oh,
community.
Yeah. I know the Lego Ideas. Yeah, they're all a bunch of random things, right?
Yeah, it's user submitted Lego builds, and then the community votes on it, and for the possibility that Lego makes a full-fledged retail set.
Yeah. Okay, I'm familiar with it. Yeah, they're pretty cool, right?
Yeah. So this was one of 2 winners selected this month out of a pool of 65. I don't know how often they do these, but we have a Jaws set.
Oh,
that is spectacular.
Yeah,
Now,
it is. That is awesome.
Now, keep in mind what you're seeing there. You know, it says fan model. This is not the final Lego version that will come out to retail. But you know, here they're showing the shark, you know, the orca, Brody, Hooper, and Quint. Cool. So you know, Lego will do some tweaking here and there. But apparently they have the license to do Jaws, so you know that's why they're doing this. So we'll see how the final version turns out.
Now these are made with actual Lego bricks that are already in existence, though, right?
Correct.
So technically, everything that makes this up is already out there. You just need to gather them and make them yourself,
right?
Which I won't do.
Yeah,
but
if you were on the ball and were up for a challenge, you could, you know, go out and make this right now.
I'm assuming the person that did this, first of all, would be like from the movie, you know, one of the master builders. They could just make anything from memory. And then secondly, I'm assuming the person that did this probably owns every single Lego that's ever been out.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. That is really great. I love it.
It is really cool. That's absolutely. Yep.
So yeah, that's that's all we have there is the preliminary picture from the creator. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry to interrupt.
The shark's okay. You know, it's a little rough looking, but it's Legos and the orca.
Well, yeah, it's Lego. Yeah.
Man, I love that.
I love that size, you know, the proportions there too. It's really good. Yeah.
That's probably when they do that, that's gonna be over $100 though. You know it.
I guarantee it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would probably be over $100 just for, you know, even if this wasn't a major, you know, brand, you know, it would just be over $100 for how cool the Lego is itself. You throw that it's Jaws on there, it's gonna bump it up another $50, you know.
Yeah, without the license fee for the actual movie. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Kevin, are you peeking around the corner of the picture like I am?
No.
It looked like you were. Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So
sorry to interrupt again, Pat.
That's all right. One quick thing. For some reason, I don't think I showed this last week, and we're gonna get it into some Hot Toys territory here. But I've in honor of seeing Spider-Verse yesterday, I don't think I showed this. This shows Miles 2099 and Gwen all together. You know, last week I talked about the Miles figure, but here they're showing at least 3 figures that they're doing from across the Spider-Verse in scale.
That 2099 looks cooler than the one I thought I remember you showing before. Maybe it's just a different position that's making it look better. I don't know.
Well, this is the Hot Toys. This isn't the Hasbro.
Oh,
Marvel
gotcha.
Legends.
Yeah. Okay, that one looks cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to answer what is better than one Hot Toys Batman?
And my guess automatically immediately was 2 of them.
And Mike said 3.
Yeah.
Just
So-
because 2 was already taken.
Yeah. Well, if we go by Price's Right rules, Mike might be the winner here because there potentially is room for quite a few
Oh man.
Hot Toys Batman. Now, they released this picture without an explanation.
Wow.
This potentially could be just a haul of costumes sort of deal,
Uh-huh.
or potentially you could swap out bodies and use all these outfits.
Wouldn't that be
Um,
awesome? Yeah.
This may not even actually end up being an actual product.
That
But
was
this is an actual product. This is the Ben Affleck version of Batman from the Flash movie.
Mhm.
So kind of knew this was probably coming. Now there's a lot of criticism about this sculpt. A lot of people are saying this doesn't look like Ben Affleck. So see what you guys think as we run through the pictures. It's kind of weird because, especially when we get to these close-ups, if I kind of look at the eyes and just look at the face and the eyes, I can see him underneath there. But I don't know.
Uh,
It looks more like Michael Keaton on the left.
I can definitely see what people are seeing, but
Yeah. And
it's kind of, if you want to see them, it's close enough. But if you want to complain about it, it's definitely not quite right. Yeah.
Right. And it's funny because I should have pulled a picture of this too, probably, but they have released other Ben Affleck Batman in the Hot Toys line, and people are saying, that face sculpt was a lot better than this new one. The speculation is that they potentially didn't have the likeness from Ben Affleck to do his face again. I don't know how the things work like that. We'll keep running through him here. And the Batman figure is $290.
Well, I've got a hot take on Ben Affleck Batman. Anyway, what's up, your grandpa?
Hey.
I'm not a big Ben Affleck Batman fan anyway.
Yeah.
So that not looking like Ben Affleck actually makes me like the figure a little better. I actually like Ben Affleck. This isn't about Ben Affleck. I just don't think he was a good pick for a new Batman. I thought they were trying to mix the Dark Knight Returns and, early Justice League. It just doesn't jive for me. He's too old of a Batman, so I didn't care for Ben Affleck being a choice. So I like that it doesn't look like him. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so.
I see what you say. When I see Ben Affleck as Batman, I see Ben Affleck. But when I see Michael Keaton as Batman, I see Batman.
Right, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's sort of there's the the rundown, the spec sheet at the end there.
Your grandpa's chiming in, agreeing with me about Ben Affleck. He's great in the other movies, but yeah, Batman's not for me. Yep. Totally agree, your grandpa. I feel like your grandpa could be part of the show. He's like tracking with us.
Okay, so if you there again, there's everything the 290 version of the Batman comes with. But if you want something for your Batman to ride on, you can also get the Bat Cycle. The Bat Cycle alone is $410.
Oh my God. Is it motorized?
They better have an engine.
Yeah.
Not that I'm aware. They don't list that on the specs here that I can see. It does have light up features and things like that, but no.
Oh my God. How could that be $500, Pat?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, I think it looks cool. I'm not the biggest fan of that Bat Cycle, but I think it works with the figure.
Yeah, I'm not complaining about this bike at all. Yeah, definitely. It looks cool. The proportions great with the figure, but looking at the figure compared to how much was the figure you said?
290. 290, yeah.
How is that bike, which looks like it's more of a basic build and approximately the same size as the figure in general, going to be $200 more? You know what I mean?
Kevin, it has articulated flaps.
Okay.
I can build that with Legos. A fraction of the price.
The guy that submitted that Jaws definitely can.
There's the spec sheet, whatever you want to call it, on the bat cycle. However, if you want to get them both, they do offer a small discount. You can get both in a complete set for $665.
Jeez, oh man.
It is considerably cheaper to buy them both.
That is, yeah.
I think it's $35 off.
Well, like you said 300 and 500, right? That's 800.
410 plus 290.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was 300 and 500. I was
Look
just
at you doing math like you're actually in the market for this.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I was just wondering who is in the market for this.
Well, I was in the early thousands. Remember buying all those statues? I'd go to the comic book store and drop $1,000 on payday.
Yeah. Okay. Well, not on a statue. Well, on multiple statues.
Yes. Yeah.
Not one. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So that's. There wasn't much going on this week, but
Pat can't get a word in edgewise in his own segment.
I know. I'll shut up. I'm just gonna go ahead and mute myself.
No, I was just trying to wrap things up. That it was sort of a slow week, I think, with the holiday, but so I had to go for some of the high end stuff that was announced. I'll try to pull it back a little bit next week, get some more affordable items for the common folk like us on the next horizon. But that's it for this week.
Yeah, they're way out of my price range. I'll never own them, but I'm glad that they exist because they're really great to look at.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Even though, it's not in my price range, that they're great to see, though, Pat. So please keep them coming. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right. I am so excited for Flash. I think I'm more excited for Flash. That's next week too, right?
16th.
Oh man.
Well, 16th. Okay. Yeah, your grandpa's saying he can't afford it either. He ain't spending that kind of money. Yeah. Your grandpa pushes the envelope with how much he'll spend on the whatnot shows. He ain't buying those $700 figure. But I can't wait to see it in person someday. Some with one of us owning it. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna check out. See, there you go again. Now, so I need to prioritize Guardians of the Galaxy because it's got to be leaving soon. And Miles is what I want to actually see. Spider-Man is what I want to see first. But then we're going to throw Flash into the mix probably by the time I get to any of them. I'm going to have to I'm going to need a week like you just had, Pat, with 3 movies in 1 week.
Yeah.
Those had to all be matinees though, right?
Mario Brothers was not. But I will tell you this, sort of the advantage of living where I live. Guardians of the Galaxy cost us, I think, $13.50 for all 3 of us.
Oh, wow.
What? It'll be cheaper for me to drive there.
That's what I was just curious to say.
Coal, gas, and everything, and road snacks, than to go right across the road.
Oh, your grandpa saw it too. He gets another ringing endorsement from your grandpa for Spider-Verse.
Sweet.
Great. No, but I'm gonna be there next week, so maybe I should plan on seeing it where you saw it, Pat.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's the AMC in Sarver, so it's 20 minutes away from my house in Butler. So
On the other side of where I'm coming from.
yeah,
too.
sort of. Yeah, not really convenient to where you'll be at.
Damn. Not to mention, that's the hardest thing about making a trip home is there's just so many people to see and so many things to do. I just, everything has to be cut shorter than. I wish I could just go up and do. I know you can relate to this too, Mike. Obviously, is you want to go up there and do one thing, but you can't because then you're leaving people out. You got to do a bunch of things.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to visit with my family, but I got a movie I got to catch.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't really fly with your family members.
Well, Ayla will be happy because me and Ayla would definitely go see it. Everybody else would be like, what the heck? So. All right, so we've done good. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah,
what?
we're definitely in this week for Spider-Verse. I think we're probably looking at maybe Tuesday or Wednesday.
We'll see. Stay tuned for next week. I think you've mentioned that kind of thing before, but things just don't cooperate.
This one we're really going to try to make.
All right. Well, I do. I
We'll
wish
see.
you the best of luck. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're ready to wrap this up then. Our time's been good today.
Yeah.
All right, let's do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
It was so shocking that Mike couldn't help but express his shock when he looked at the time. Is that what you're looking at, Mike?
Well, yeah, I'm a whole hour. We're an hour shorter than normal. I didn't even have time to take notes.
Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, that's a good excuse. I'm going to put this up too to try to save face a little bit. And this is a good starter for the recap here. Check out Spider-Man. I'm going to steal this from you a little bit, Pat. Spider-Man number 25. If you want to know what happened to Jane, okay, which this is the lyrics of L.A. Guns' Ballad of Jane. That's why. You guys tracking with me a little bit more?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because we're not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, good. That's nice. There you go. Damn.
Sorry, I had to explain the joke though, but it was good.
Don't you hate that? You know, a joke really sucks if you got to explain it, especially twice. We got Pat. We got Pat.
Do not give Kevin a big-headed Vader.
Thank you.
Yeah. You must hate Funko Pop Vader.
Yes, I do.
Right.
That's no lie.
Kevin sees all Darth Vader pieces, drawings as bobbleheads. Then, right?
No, if it's off to the side, or if like I'll show you a few that I think are good. That's what I'm going to do. Show you a few that I think are good, and a few that I think what I'm trying to describe. So we'll see.
All right, very good. Well, I guess it's safe to say that we're all voting against Francisco Mattina in the semifinals. Safe to say.
It is safe to say. It is safe to say.
Sorry to the individual that has Francisco Mattina.
Right. Yeah. Apologies all around.
Karen's chiming in for the first recap in a bit. Starting a peekaboo game. What?
I think it's when you were being silly and peeking around the picture.
No, you were being silly. I wasn't being silly. That was all you. This is the new game we're starting. We're starting the pointing game.
The pointing game.
All right. Don't make any preconceived. Don't have any preconceived notions of how good Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio is based on the original Pinocchio. Similar, but extremely different. Check it out.
Is there a cricket? Is Jiminy Cricket in it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's got everything you're aware of with Pinocchio, just cool.
It's probably more based on the book, I would guess.
I wouldn't know that either. So
Yeah, I don't know. I've never read it. I've actually heard people complain that it's a hard read. It's very, tough to get through.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't have much. Happy Yojo June. I don't know.
Nice. That's a good one, Pat.
Oh, I forgot. That jolted something in my head. I forgot about the G.I. Joe segment of the Horizon. They are going to announce a Hasbro HasLab G.I. Joe related project sometime this month. So
cool.
Awesome.
Can't wait to see it. Mike?
It seems, unfortunately, the Silo TV show is not doing the story justice, so you may all just have to go read the books. But they're well worth it. Even if you're not an avid reader.
I actually started reading a book you might be interested in this last week, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
I started reading. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
I started reading Richard Matheson's I Am Legend.
Really?
Yep.
That is exciting to me.
About a quarter way through.
Nice.
And you know what my first thought is? This isn't the Richard Matheson review, but Karen's recap is Kevin needs to go to the movies before it's all ruined. Yes, I do. Yeah. It reminds me of Omega Man way more than I Am Legend. That's for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Omega Man is just so far.
It is bad
removed from it. But
it seems more similar, way more similar to me to Omega Man than it does I Am Legend so far. I'm only like 30 pages in, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, because Omega Man to me is so far different than the Will Smith I Am Legend. And I watched that, it's like, really? This is based on what? Yeah, it's just anyway. Yeah, I can't wait to hear you.
We'll talk about that more once I'm done with the book.
Yeah.
Apparently, visions from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away are only visions coming from a female perspective at this point.
Yeah, I really don't have anything. Just no, I don't have anything.
I sent this to you guys. I couldn't remember if I sent this last week, but I sent it again last night. Action Figure Adventure. This is so fantastically fun to watch, especially if you're into action figures. The quick synopsis. It takes place in Canada. I mean, he comes down to the U.S. a little bit, but he's having a charity, so he's going around trying to pick. He's got a budget of like, I don't know, $10,000, $6,000 Canadian or something like that, and he's trying to buy these great action figures to auction off for a charity, for kids charity. So it's great because you get to see all these classic 80s toy sets and action figures and everything and the prices, and it's a lot of fun. So everybody check out Action Figure Adventure on Prime. And that's all I have for the week.
I definitely am going to do that, actually. And I do think you shared that like a couple weeks ago once before.
Okay. I couldn't remember. I was back to watching a few episodes yesterday afternoon. So.
And reminded yourself again.
Yeah.
Vanish and Little Monsters are obviously still awesome books, as is Spider-Man. So it's a great. So if you weren't here earlier to watch all of our Get It or Forget It reviews, they were all Get It's. So add them to the list. You done, Pat?
Yeah.
Are you done, Mike, too, or do you have another random movie review?
No, that's it.
Karen, how you doing? You done? All right. Lastly, I'm just going to add Ben Affleck's a great actor, but not a great Batman. Okay. I'm going to go there to close it out. So that'll do it.
All right.
All right. Let me see if I can knock this out of the park and we have a record-breaking shorter show this week. And honestly, I think between 2:30 and 3, that's where we should be swimming all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. Go ahead and like it right now. Like, don't wait at all for me to say anything more. Just go ahead and like it real quick. Thank you. Appreciate it. Please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted later today or tomorrow. Follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. Watch our shows on the Whatnot app weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can bookmark. Oh, I have Tuesdays there. Sorry. It's actually Thursdays. You can bookmark Thursday's show right now. Definitely excited to get back at it this coming Thursday. Lots of good stuff. Check it out. Then also check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics. And on our website, XcellarComics.com. I'm going to start a new thing, too, where I'm at least going to add one new thing to sell on the website per week. And if you could do that, too, Mike, then we get 2 a week. That'd be great, right? I'll just have to walk you through the process. It's easy once you know what you're doing, you know.
Yeah. I'll get something.
And then lastly, watch our live stream on YouTube or Facebook next Saturday, 9:30 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. I will be on location in Pennsylvania. Me and Karen will be in the same room. See if that helps or hinders the show. We'll see. So be there. All right. You got anything else, Matt? Nope. Anything else, Mike?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, cool. Thanks for everybody being here. Thanks for your grandpa checking in. And until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.